On today's show, we see how dreams point out where your masculine energy went out of balance and how the same dream attempts to heal it. Now, masculine energy is all about belief in your self-confidence, being able to set boundaries. It's all about your outer world, and there's many things connected to it. It's not the abstract thing it sounds like. This show shows you how that imbalance can show up in your dreams and then how our dreams also attempt to fix it. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Well, Michael, I am so excited. It is coming into September, and guess what's happening in October? We have our summit. Yes, our 3-day Dream Interpretation Summit. There'll be parts that we've covered before. It's always good to get a refresher. And we've got new areas that we are talking about adding because I like some of them, like, maybe nightmares and dreams. We're still negotiating. But anyways, Michael, do you want to talk a little bit about it? It's going to be in October on Friday the 11th through Sunday the 13th. But I want you to give all the details.
Yeah, it's a massive 3-day event. Tons and tons of content, but done in a very gentle way. We take you from the very basics, if you know nothing about dreams, or even if you do, how do you look at symbols in a fresh new light and understand them? How do you figure out the important symbols and the symbols you should ignore? And then we talk about all the hot topics in dreams, the most important ones that every single dream is about. And then we talk about how birth influences us in this lifetime, how that shows up in our dreams, how we see our life purpose from those birth dreams. Lots and lots of stuff all the way through. We talk about gifts, we talk about channeling, but it's a very, very structured, well put together course. And Sandy is twisting my arm. When she says in negotiation, she means she's twisting my arm, making me very uncomfortable because she wants nightmares included and children's dreams included. We may or may not do that. We will see what happens. But if you want to go to the event, it's dream-analysis.com/summit. There's a $97 refundable deposit. Just show up to any of the event, you get that back, no questions asked, and we really hope to see you there.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It's always such a fun event, and I just love all the people that show up. Our amazing graduates show up, and they come in and they do people's dreams, so bring your dreams, and questions get answered. It's really a lot of fun, so I really look forward to this, Michael. Anyways, shall we move on to some dreams?
Let's do it.
So the first dream is musical instrument store, and it's from Sophie. Then I walked into a musical instrument store. There's a man working there. I tell him I play the harp and another instrument. Cello, maybe. I don't play either. I buy something and start to leave. Then remember I have my old saxophone there. I played in grade school. I asked him if it was worth anything. I'm trying to sell it to the store. He says, no, it's too old to buy. I walk over to the open case and look at it. It's still in good condition. I take it out. He tells me I should blow on it. I'm not really wanting to because it's been so long since I played. I don't know if I can make any reasonable sound on it. My maternal grandmother, deceased, and mom are here too. I look down at my finger placement. I'm trying to remember where they go. Is it the top 3 placements? No, that's not right because there's placements below. I think I need to stretch my fingers out to cover more area. My mom and grandma are talking and holding a small black square that's a teleprompter prism. It attaches to the neck of the saxophone so you can see your fingers while playing. Okay, Michael. Musical instruments. That's very interesting. Let's see what you have to say.
Channeling. It's obviously about channeling. That's what music in dreams represents. And playing music in a dream is about channeling. And we know that this dreamer's a channel anyway, but we see some of the issues here. So going into the musical instrument store, that's great. And there's a man there. She says, I play the harp and I played these other things. So if you are a musician, and she is because she played in grade school, then we will often dream about playing a different instrument just so that we know that it's still, the meaning of this still holds for you. So we know she's able to channel. I like the harp reference even being connected to angels, right? So I'm able to channel angels. And then she tries to sell her old equipment to the store owner. He says, no, play it. And he's a guide because he has a title. And whatever they say in a dream is infallible. So he is saying, use your gift, because the saxophone represents the gift. She doesn't really want to do it. She feels like it's been too long and doesn't. Anyway, we see the crux of it later on. So the guide is saying, look, you need to channel, get back into channeling. And then she goes to go play it finally, and she's looking at the finger placement. Does it go here? Does it go there? Am I doing it right? And then her mom and grandma have this small black square teleprompter prism. So small is negative, black is negative, square is negative. Black is a color in a dream is negative. It's all about limitation and fears. And she's looking at the reflection in this black prism to see her fingers in the right place. And so it really comes down to her sense of needing to be right when channeling comes from mom, because mom is the one holding that. And we also, with the reference to the hands, she's meant to combine hands-on healing with channeling. But really, this is what it is about. You're meant to channel. Don't give up on it. Whatever you do, we're not going to take this gift off you. We're not taking it back. It's yours. Keep it. The fact that it's old doesn't mean anything in the dream. It's actually fine. It just would really be saying that you've had this gift a while, not that it's old. But take it out, dust it off, use it. I like the dream.
Yeah, it's a very interesting dream. So I find it interesting. There are two women in the dream.
So channels' dreams are littered with twos all the time. There's two of this, two of that. Like I play the harp and the cello. So two instruments straight away. It's just crazy how it is, but it's because they're connected to both worlds. They're connected to the spirit world and the physical world. And it just shows up all the time. It uses two energies, masculine and feminine energy. Most gifts only use one, but this one requires both. And so there's many reasons that twos show up. But yeah, she's got it.
And it's also interesting that the maternal grandmother is deceased and her mother's not. So is that pointing to anything as well?
Yeah, that this special ability to communicate with people who are up playing a harp.
That's good. All righty. Let's move on because we get lots of dreams and I'm excited. All righty. Graduation and ceremony. And this is from Jane. I'm outside at what seems like a ceremony. I sense there are other people around, but I don't see them. I meet Holly standing outside of a sacred place. Holly is the first gate of entry. I wonder if this is a graduation. She greets me and gives me instructions. I enter the sacred space and another woman is there. Maybe April. I offer two gifts to the altar. One is food. That is what I'm expected to offer, but I also leave a shell. I then leave. I go back to Holly for a second time. I enter the sacred space again and offer food to the altar. The third time I go to Holly to receive the next step, she instructs me to find Pierre's table. Pierre is the very popular leader of the Canadian opposition party, who I see is lifting us out of a dark time in this country. I don't know where it is, so I look around and then see it. I go over to his table. He is standing behind it. Pierre talks to me about Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, who is currently very unpopular, and he speaks freely about how harmful Trudeau is. I agree. And then Pierre shows me the essential oils he has on his table, and I look and see the table covered with many bottles of oils.
So this dream is about the dreamer's feminine energy moving up to a new level. And that's what the whole first part is about, like going past the space with Holly and April. They're the two top instructors in our school. So it's really good because people who go through our mentorship program, and this person has gone through our mentorship program, really respect where Holly and April have gotten to in terms of their ability to channel, their ability to help people and interpret dreams and all the other things that go with it, like it really found themselves. And so that's kind of a goal of a lot of people. Like I want to get to where that person is. And so this dream is saying, look, you've arrived. Your feminine energy is being celebrated. The rise of it is being celebrated, increase in vibration. And then the next part says specifically what it's about. It's about leadership because we have two politicians. One is the president and one wants to be the president or prime minister of the country. So she's Canadian And it only matters what the dreamer thinks about these people. It doesn't matter what whoever's interpreting the dream thinks. So she doesn't like Trudeau, but she does like the other guy, Pierre. So it's good that she actually has both, because she still sees the gift of spiritual leadership in a positive way, but she also has that conflict because she sees Trudeau would represent looking at the gift in a negative way. So this is what she has to overcome. And what the dream really says is, look, here's what you do. Now in this new state that you've arrived in, feminine energy graduated to the next level, find the spiritual leadership position that suits you. That, like, this is me. I align with this. So she goes over to Pierre's table and it's like, this is who I like. I'm in alignment here. So it's not really about those people at all. And it's not a comment on Canada at all. It's just a comment on the dreamer finding who she is and the position from which she's comfortable being a leader.
Wonderful. And so we've got 2 gifts. And then what's the essential oils on his table all about?
Okay, so yeah. I'm going back to your gifts. Like, she gives a gift. So it means she is at least at the guide level herself. If you bring a gift or offer a gift in a dream, that's one of the telltale signs for a guide. So she's stepping into that role, that leadership role that a guide is in. The essential oils is interesting. She likes essential oils. She doesn't work with them for other people. But they said when I channeled on the dream that she will share essential oils with people that she works with. And she does have clients. But it's only going to be like, there are many, many, many essential oils, but there's going to be like 2 or 3 where she's like, this one works really well for me. I'm going to share this with you. And so I think it's like slowly but surely she's going to get into the essential oils. It's not the big part of what she's going to do, but it's definitely an endorsement in the dream by the fact that they're on the table, that she's going to use them to help other people.
Very interesting. And the table is covered with many bottles of them. Lot to try.
So she loves it. She loves the essential oils, but like I said, it's not going to be, hey, get into that, pursue that. It's just share what you know.
And then it talks about dark times in Canada. Is there anything specific in that?
Well, she says specifically, if you want to be specific, that this person's going to lift them out of dark times. So it's not dark times, it's lifting out of dark times. So again, raising up your energy, which is what she's doing. And she's stepping into full alignment with who she really is. She's moved into her own inner sanctum, let's say, in the dream.
Wow, that's amazing. Super cool. I like that dream. Okay, let's move on. This dream is from Tiffany, and it's called Time Machine and Batting Crabs. Oh, interesting title. All right. My husband is with my son and daughter, but they don't look like themselves in real life. My son looks 7-ish, and my daughter a year younger than him, not their ages in real life. My husband is pushing my son around, walking up, nudging and pushing him, but in a mean way. And my daughter is following my husband. Then I have a knowing that my husband killed my son. Oh, Michael. All righty, we're going to stop there. This is a long dream.
It's not too long, but here we see the issue I alluded to earlier, reconnecting with masculine side. So it's not her real husband. It's not her real son or daughter. So everything's a little bit different. So it's something that happened to her around age 7-ish, because she says, my son looks 7-ish and my daughter. So it's around that age. And so I channeled, it's not dad, it's not her partner. And so I asked her, like, what was the circumstances around then? And it turns out it's her elder brother. So her mom got remarried, and she has a stepbrother whom she loves and adores now. But when they first came into proximity, he was at that age where he lorded everything over her and her older brother. And so he pushed her around and he pushed the brother around. But it's really about her. So the eldest brother pushed her around, and this killed lots of aspects of her own masculine energy at that time. And the dream is showing, so this is where the issue comes from. And it could be a number of things. There's a myriad number of traits that go with masculine energy, and you need to know what it is for you. But some will be obvious. It's like, do you like men? Do you have issues with men? Okay, well, there's an issue with masculine energy, for instance. Anyway, in this dream, she's addressing this particular issue, and the setup is shown in a beautiful way here. Let's see the next piece, unless you have a
All
question.
righty. Yeah. No question. That's very good. Next. Then I leave. I'm now at a machine that looks like a parking permit machine. The slot where the credit card goes, there is a bunch of folded up game tickets, so I take them out. I feel people watching me. There's a man who seems like he's in charge of the area, and he says to me, "Oh, did you fix the machine?" I say, "Yeah." All right, Michael.
So I asked her about him, and she said, no, he's a really lovely guy. This is a nice guy. There's nothing sinister about this at all. So the parking permit is a masculine energy symbol. Bills and tickets and fines and all that sort of stuff, they're all masculine energy. They're all about the karmic path. And so this is definitely a karmic path symbol, because this is how you pay what you need to pay as enforced by the law. And the law in a dream is karma, right? So the slots where the credit card goes is a bunch of folded up game tickets. So this is about life. And again, the tickets making it a karmic thing. So I'm going through life in a karmic sense, in a karmic way. But she clears all this, fixes the machine. So symbolically, she's fixing her own masculine energy. And then a man shows up and even acknowledges that she has fixed it. So very, very positive. What has she fixed? She's fixed the fact that her son got killed just before this in the dream.
Interesting. Okay, we're going to continue. Then I go back to my husband. His back is facing me, and when he turns around, I see he is devastated and he's crying. I say, "Oh, so you were upset about what happened." He is sobbing and crying. I have a knowing that I have used a machine that can take you back in time to a specific date slash time slash place, and I have been using it. My husband didn't want me to use it anymore, so we had stopped. I said to him, "We will use the machine to go back in time and get our son, and then we'll destroy it, but we will have moved away from this place. Do you understand? We have to move away from here." He says through his tears, "Okay." All right, Michael.
I love your tones and inflections. So again, it's about reconnecting with the masculine. So she goes back to the husband. I love how she goes, "Oh, so you were upset about killing your son." So it's all about her. It's really all about her, right? And then she has this time machine to go back and fix the issue. And that's what she's going to do. Go back in time, heal the issue that was depicted at the start, the issue that caused her to kill off her own masculine energy. And of course, we don't kill these things. Dreams exaggerated. But she saying, I'm going to now do this, go to back to this time and restore my masculine side. But when we come back here, we can't stay in this place. And that's a really good point. You can't fix an issue and then still hold on to the problems. So you have to change. You have to move. It's not really about physically moving, but you have to be a different person in order for this healing to stick, let's say.
Oh, let's continue because this next part looks interesting. Then I see my son and my daughter, and they're in prison, holding place for young children. My daughter is with my son because my son has a notebook that he has drawn in orange pen and everything that had happened. My daughter wanted to remove all the pages that had her on them. He allowed it. I see her removing the pages out of the notebook. All right, Michael, they're in a prison.
Yeah, which is better than dead. But it still shows I suppressed my masculine side at this age. Ignore the girl for a moment. But what the girl does, I mean, she's in the prison, but she's taken these things out. This is her separating from her masculine side. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm not even going to be on the page. You're going to be on your own and you're going to be in this jail. So this is just another way of depicting the issue. Not solved, but the issue, and it's not dead though. So at least that's better.
Why orange pen? Why an orange pen?
She has a writing ability. She should be using that with ambition. Orange is the color for ambition.
But there's no black in this, so that's not a career thing she has to do.
But orange on its own is enough for a career because orange as a color symbolizes drive and ambition. And
okay.
So it's not negative if we don't have the black in, but it can still be about this is something you should pursue.
And we do have a notebook and pages So we are talking about maybe a writing skill. Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Mm,
But we see our own gifts in our dreams all the time, and I've skipped some of our gifts, but really the point we're focusing on in this dream is the separation from the masculine.
okay. Perfect. All right, let's move on. Now I'm in a house and there's a woman walking around the house inspecting it. And there's a long tube, almost like a vacuum type of attachment. And I hide it under a couch because I don't want her to take it from me. I want to keep it. Then I see a crab that looks black and white like an orca. I think, not today, and grab a bat. I walk up to it and I swing as hard as I can and hit it. It flies across the room. I think I'm going to hit this crab out of this house. I see it on the ledge, and the crab, it's a bad word there, starts spitting little rocks at me, hitting me, and they kind of hurt. Kill this thing. I need a shield. And at first I pick up a dollhouse, but then realize the pebbles can go through the window openings. Then I see a big round orange disc and pick it up. I'm using that as a shield, and I get closer to the crab again. But then the crab spits out a big oblong rock, and I think, oh, that didn't even hurt me. I'm getting ready to smash it again. All right, Michael.
All right.
I like the fact she's smashing the crab.
I do too. So the woman walking around inspecting the house, and she's a caretaker. Anyway, there's a long tube, a vacuum tube. So vacuums are about clearing. So we see a elimination system, but here it can be both physical and psychological. So she's healing the issues that cause her to separate from her masculine side. And so her wanting to keep the vacuum attachment is good because it's like, okay, I can use that to clean up the mess. That's what it's for, right? It's perfect. Then she sees the crab. Now, that's not a good symbol. But here, the crab more represents her older brother, that he had this hard shell around him and he had this attitude like way back that he was in the right. And when our parents aren't around, here's how I'm going to be. This is just how it is. This is life. Get used to it, kid. And so that's what the crab represents. It's not about cancer. It's not about her being in a shell or anything like that. And so her killing it is the right thing for her to do in the dream. Now, she doesn't manage to kill it, but I said to her after doing the dream, go back in and kill it. And she's usually pretty good at that type of thing. She will. But we see all the other things, like I'm going to protect myself with a dollhouse. Oh, that didn't work. So then I'm going to protect myself with a shield, which is good. And especially because she's like, okay, this crab is spitting stones at her, which is another karmic symbol, like rocks and things in your path. A rocky path is a karmic path. And so this crab spitting that at her is karma hitting her in the face or whatever it's hitting her in her body. And so this is what I'm dealing with, fixing my view of this masculine energy system so that I have healed my own masculine energy.
So she sees the crab and it looks black and white like an orca. So what's going on with an orca?
So we see many gifts. She has many gifts and she's a channel. We've seen that in the other dreams. And so the orca symbolizes she has a channeling ability. And she has issues with that. You know, she's an amazing channel. But if she is in the wrong space, then she diminishes her ability. And this is going to help her with that because of the fact that she even mentions orcas in that. So getting her own masculine energy back, restoring that is going to give her the confidence that she needs in order to hold her own in a channeling space when she's with other experts. Like everything ties into everything else. But that's masculine energy is really about helping us set boundaries, helping us create in the physical world, in the outside world, and many other things like that. Belief in yourself, feeling worthy of the space you occupy. So you can see how if she has that energy restored, then she's going to feel good being beside somebody else who's an expert in the space that she wants to become expert in.
Very cool. Now we've got Pebbles, the crab spitting little rocks, Pebbles. So what is that about?
So this is karma. This is a karmic symbol. Like I'm being hit by karma. And I tried to defend myself in childhood, which is me picking up the dollhouse, but I wasn't able to. And so we see that reference. Like she in the dream, it all looks like it's present moment, but it's like, no, something else has to be used in order to deal with this. But it's really karma all the way through this dream, like the masculine energy karmic system.
Mm. And then it's a big round orange disc. Why a disc?
So I said earlier that orange has to do with drive and ambition. It's the color of the sacral chakra. And that's really what it does. It's a mix of red and yellow. It's an energizing color, especially in career dreams. So it's the positive part of the black and orange in career dreams. It also helps heal the digestive system, but that's not really where this goes. Although we do see a reference to the digestive system, or elimination system, I should say, because of the vacuum piece earlier. But the other thing the color does is helps with assimilation of new ideas. So it helps you be flexible moving forward in life, removes repression and inhibitions, broadens the mind, and helps you cope with life. So if you're going to have significant change in your life going forward, and that's what you're looking for, that's what she is looking for at this moment in life, then this is a really good thing for her to have.
Now that's amazing. And I love that because orange was called out twice in this dream. So I find that very interesting. Here's our dream from Julie. Food falling on the deck. I'm outside with Freya, my dog, on a deck. The deck has a table with a folding leaf. As I walk past it, there isn't much room to get by, so I fold the extra leaf down to get through. As I do, there's a glass of white wine on the table, tips and spills some wine onto the deck. I go past the table again in the same direction. I'm walking to my right and the table is on my left. This time, as I drop the leaf, the white wine in the glass spills again, and then something else slides off, maybe something like a fancy bun with a cream topping onto the deck. I pick it up and toss it into the grass for my dog to eat. The third time I go by, I'm ready and check that nothing will fall, and then I drop the leaf. As I do this, I notice a black cast iron frying pan on the table with fried eggs in it. It's pretty full, like there was lots of eggs in it. I think those eggs will be bad because I made them on Friday and it's Sunday. I see Freya on the grass eating and I say, "Here, Freya," as I toss the fried eggs, which slide right out of the frying pan into the air and onto the grass. Notes: I don't eat gluten or dairy for years, but I still let myself cheat a little sometimes. If I drink alcohol, I only drink white wine. I typically drink no more than 2 glasses a month. I haven't had any since June, but I was considering it when I had this dream. Busted. I wondered if I should avoid eggs and chicken due to previous dreams. All right, Michael, very interesting.
All right. The really sad part for you here is they don't like you drinking white wine. And here's a clue. Any food that ends up on the deck, like this in a dream, food or drink, that's something that you need to eliminate because the floor in a dream represents the elimination system. So that's sad. I like how they do it. Like you're trying to go past the table and then you knock it down, it spills again and so on. It slides off. So it's... they're not letting you slide with it. The other part is we see with the pan in the dream, the frying pan, that's a symbol for the pancreas. So that says your pancreas is impacted when you let your diet slide. And letting your diet slide is because the things slide off the table. Definitely don't eat eggs. That's clear as a bell in the dream. And then also eggs affect your circulatory system because they end up, you said, slides out of the frying pan into the air and onto the grass. And the grass is a symbol for the circulatory system. So there's just an extra thing thrown in there. I like how your dog, though, helps heal the situation. But that's what this one's about.
Wow, no wine. Oh, that's sad. That would be hard. The no eggs are affecting the circulatory system is very, very interesting. Now let's see. And why did you say the dog helping her? What's going on with that? Is that her body or?
Well, the dog cleans it all up. So anything that's there, he takes it away. He deals with it. So he would be like her own body healing herself.
Oh, very nice.
So when you see dreams about elimination system and you see kind of obstructions, like there isn't space for me to get by here, apart from what that just says, the way I said it. But the constriction in my body caused by me eating the wrong food. So I have to do something to clear space so that food can get through. Of course, in the dream, it's her, but it's all connected to the food because the whole dream is about the elimination system.
Yeah, and she does this like 3 times. And then look, we've got a fancy bun with cream topping too.
Yeah, sorry, that's out too. So anything that we see in this dream is not good for you. And that's typically how we do see it. Dreams will show you what you need to eliminate more so than what you need to add to your diet. And we can see that in dreams, and we have many times on the show, but it's more often like this. The dreams are saying, you've got to watch your diet. Don't let your diet slide. And even when she has the white wine, and she doesn't drink much of it, so for her, it's not a big deal to quit it. But she knows when she's even thinking about, I'm going to have a glass of wine on Wednesday or whatever, in her mind, she's going, I wonder if that's okay. And that's not a good sign.
And then we've got a black cast iron frying pan.
That's the pancreas. So we don't see the pancreas showing up much in dreams, but here it is. So it's saying letting your diet slide affects your pancreas. So you don't want to go there.
Yeah, definitely not. Very interesting. Wow, Michael. Well, that was a great dream to give you some clues on what you should not eat. Sad about the wine, I'm sure. That's our show for this week, and I hope to see you all next week. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.